Hello and welcome to Smiling Souls with Wendy T and Steph. How are you today?
Hey, I am good. I am good because I got to start off my day with you
Yes, that
because
is
we don't
true.
spend enough time together.
It's becoming a thing.
It's becoming a thing. Yeah,
Yep,
that's what you said in some kind of email or like, hey, because we don't spend enough time together. You want to join me? I'm like, well, yeah,
yeah,
of course we do. Yeah.
exactly.
So got to hang out with you for an hour and other polka dots, and that was
hmm
fun.
Yeah, yeah. So,
How
let's
are
eat.
you?
I am
Wait,
good. I'm
yeah,
good. Yep,
I
it's
like your shirt.
Friday.
Is it Beatles?
It is Beatles. Says whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And then it says more of the lyrics, but the shirt is kind of cut crooked, so it slightly drives me insane.
The
But I got
shirt.
it for like the way it lays is not quite right, but I got it for like $5 at Savers, so
Oh,
I can't complain, you know. It's it's still cool.
it is very cool.
And it
Can I
is
tell you?
literally my favorite Beatles song.
Well, how about Imagine?
That's not Beatles though. That's Lennon.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, never mind.
Did you have a Let It Be story?
No. I okay, so squirrel moment, right?
Mhm.
Not a Beatles story, but a t-shirt story. I was gonna ask, like, I've got a funny t-shirt story. Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear it.
Okay. So I am a big Gilmore Girls fan. Still am. It's been off the air for like, I don't know how many years. But if you are a Gilmore Girls fan, you'll understand this. One of the episodes, Lorelai goes outside and she smells the air and she says, "Oh, I smell snow." Like she has this
Hmm
gift where she can smell snow coming.
I could do that.
So you can too. I can kind of, yeah, I get
It's
like,
like you can smell the rain too. Yeah.
oh man,
Hmm
yes. And so branded merchandise, right? Well, maybe it's not branded merchandise, but there was a shirt I saw online. It said, "I smell snow."
hmm
I was like, oh my gosh, that's the perfect shirt. And so I got it, right?
hmm
I smell snow.
hmm
Fantastic. Wore this to go see my eye doctor exam, sitting in the waiting room. He comes out to get me and he looks and he starts laughing, like belly laughing, looking at me. And I'm like, and so finally he gets his presents back. And I'm like, what? He goes, your shirt. I'm like, yeah. He goes, no, look at your shirt. I'm like, I know what it says. He's like, look. So I looked down and all it said was, because the way I was sitting,
hmm
I smell. The snow part was covered up, right? It had folded in on
Yeah.
itself. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh. He's like,
Is
what is this?
is this the same doctor that saw your back of your
No, this
phone
is a
pop it?
different doctor.
Okay, I was gonna say he's a character.
This is a different doctor. Actually, they're right across the road from one another. No, this guy's hilarious. And so I stood up and he's like, oh. So consequently, I no longer own that shirt just because of that reason. I don't want to walk around like, I smell.
Well,
No, the other doctor, you got the same sticker on the back of your phone.
heck yeah. That's kind of funny.
You always outside. Okay. So yeah, my chiropractor, I had this sitting face down on his desk because I didn't took it out of my jeans, right? My jean pocket, just to clarify. And he's like, does that say pot love? I'm like, no, it says dot love. It's polka dot powerhouse. We've talked about this. He's like, oh, thought it said pot love. I'm like, no.
No.
I said, if it did, I probably wouldn't need you. So yeah,
That's too funny.
that's my little misdirection.
That's cool. I like it. So, quick Beatles story for you. So in my family, my mother was like the biggest Beatles fan.
Really?
And I mean, huge. And
We're talking Beatles, the band, not
the-
Paul McCartney, not John Lennon, but as a
I
collective.
mean, Paul is her one and only, but the Beatles as a whole 100% just loved
Okay.
them since the minute they came to America. You know, as soon as she found out about them, she was like, I have been to at least two Paul McCartney concerts with her.
Really?
Yeah, so good.
You've
Yeah.
seen Sir Paul
I
in
have seen
person?
Sir Paul, yes. And but when she was pregnant with each of us, she was listening to different albums.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Like she had a
the
favorite album for each child?
well, it was for my sister, it was whatever was popular that year because she was born in
Okay.
68, so it was like
Yeah.
legit Beatle years. Michael
Oh,
was born during Beatle years, but I think it was Let It Be for him as well. And then
yeah.
while she was pregnant with me, she listened to Let It Be like on repeat. And so
Oh,
we all of our favorite, like each of our favorite songs comes off of the album that she listened to most.
really? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like Michael and I mean all three of us love Let It Be, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael and I think it was Let It Be for us
That's
because
your,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
isn't that
that.
funny? And then of course, Sesame Street. I loved Sesame Street when they did the Beatles. Um,
I didn't know that.
they had little beetle bugs singing Letter B
Are
for
you
the letter of the
kidding?
day when the letter of the day was B. So, yeah,
Sesame Street. Is that even still on?
it is. It is. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love
So,
that. Um,
that's my
okay.
childhood.
Another another misdirection, redirection, whatever. Have you ever, because you're close to New York,
Mhm.
have you gone to or walked past where a little dark? Oh, what's his name? For God's sake. John Lennon, where John
Where
Lennon was.
Lennon was shot.
We
Probably,
did
but I'm not like I don't
the
yeah,
Dakota.
the
The Dakota.
Dakota. Yeah.
When we visited a couple years ago, New York
Hmm.
City, I don't know if we made it a point or if it was just like, oh, that's where it
Hmm.
happened. It was just
Hmm.
like it
Yeah.
oh. And then the music, like my favorite, I know it's not a Beatles song, Imagine.
Imagine. Yeah.
That's and then there's a
Hmm.
park nearby, and there's a some kind of memorial, and I think it's the words, the words the
Yeah,
lyrics
imagine.
in like a circle or something in
Yes.
the park. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh my God, that just hits. Anyway, I love how we get on these topics and
I know,
we don't
right?
plan for it. You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, it's Central Park. Yeah. It's right basically kind of just it's
Just
in Central
close.
Park right by the Dakota. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
That's yeah. I love Central Park. It's so fun to like walk through and
that's
see
a
all the
big
cool
freaking
art
park.
and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't see even a quarter of it. Here's the thing.
Hmm.
I don't know if this is your experience or not. I felt like, the wall against the park or outside of the
Hmm.
park, whatever, it smelled like urine.
Yeah.
You know,
Sections are gonna do that.
I just was like, well, I don't know what I thought New York was going to smell like, but urine wasn't.
I was not sticking my thumb up and look at this. Jeez Louise. Zoom is so silly.
It's yeah. And Central Park is huge. I had
Hmm.
no idea. And at one point, we went in July, by the way.
Well, that'll make the urine smell extra strong.
So we're walking through the park and we had had a day. It was hot. We were both exhausted, sweaty. And those like pedicab guys,
Hmm.
at least three of them were like, you need a ride? No, we're good. You sure? I mean, we must have looked rough. And I swear this is probably the last weird thing I will mention today. Maybe not.
That's a lie.
it didn't rain the entire time we were in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the street, there was all this liquid all the time. And I'm like, it didn't rain.
Well, so that's because actually in New York City, a lot of the places, like the building um maintenance people spray down the sidewalks like often because it's a dirty city, but they don't actually want it to be super dirty. So I'm actually personally I'm impressed by that factor.
Here's what I thought it was. I thought there's horses that are in carriages.
Yeah, that too.
There are people that are peeing because
Mm-hmm.
there are people that are vomiting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I coined that liquid New York gravy.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, yes, because it's probably like
That's what it is.
there's those things, and then there's maybe the property up the block that sprays down their
I didn't
block,
account for the spraying of that. That makes a lot of sense.
and and then it runs down the street and hopefully clears some of it.
I did spray my foot with Lysol one time because I got in. I did. I had a little travel size of Lysol
You got in the New York gravy.
and a little bit of it splashed on my sandaled foot. And I was like, hang on, get my thing out and shh.
Yeah.
I felt better.
Yeah. I don't particularly like sandals in big cities like that. Yeah.
It was July.
No, I get it. I get it.
Lordy.
Mm-hmm.
I did get the prickly heat, but that's besides the point. Never mind.
Okay. All right. So, what is our topic today? It is we are still on some of the hard stuff of
Yeah.
getting out of our own way, when times are hard, when we're feeling down. And
We have
we'll
a shit
kind
show
of,
happening.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's our topic for today. Um, we'll try and keep it fun. I mean, you already know the crazy stories that'll happen. So
I
it's
mean,
going to be fun, right?
New York gravy. You're
New
welcome.
York gravy.
Once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
I like it.
Make a note. That's going to be part of our merch
New York gravy.
t-shirt
Mm-hmm.
because our listeners will know.
Yes. You're a goof.
Sorry.
All right. So angel cards time.
How did you know?
Cuz.
I literally picked him up. I'm like, I wonder if she's going to talk about this. Yeah. This is funny. Patience is its own reward.
Nice.
And
I
it's
like
funny
that.
because here I am like all over the place. You crown the year with a bountiful harvest. Even the hard pathways overflow with abundance. I think that's on point for the topic today. What's yours?
Mine is spread your wings.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Trying to get her in Zoom for you. So it says, don't hold back right now. Timing is perfect and you are ready to soar.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we go.
Yep. Yeah. So that's what we got going on today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hard things.
Hard things.
And you're in your own way. What do you do to help yourself through being
Yeah. Well, so
stuck in the muck?
to what?
What do you do to get yourself out of being stuck in the muck?
I thought you said muck. A
I
muck, a
did
muck,
say
a muck.
muck. A muck. I said
A muck,
muck.
a muck, a muck, a muck, a muck. Anyway, I have a ball when it's Halloween time, and the Sanderson sisters are about a foot. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
well, so what I do when I am in my own way, I talk to my dot sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I phone a friend, which
Mm-hmm.
is I'll post in the Facebook group, hey, I will reach out individually to a dot sister that I feel like, okay, yeah, I need to connect with her. I need to
Mm-hmm.
hash this out with her. I need to laugh. Ooh, here's what I will do. I will, do you do this? I'm kind of wondering. So I will go to YouTube and I will watch cat videos
Yes.
because
Cat
they're
videos.
hilarious.
Yeah. Instagram, I find the cat videos,
Mhm.
the raccoon videos.
Really?
Yes, raccoons of Instagram are quite adorable, and so are the hedgehogs.
I might have to look that up.
Baby
Oh, the
hedgehogs are
baby
so
hedgehogs.
cute.
Oh my God. Okay. So you do that too. Do you do that
Mhm.
when you're like
I
in your head
it's just
going through stuff? Just
it's just
anytime.
one day. Yeah. Although one of my coworkers and I are our love language to each other is to send each other ridiculous reels from Instagram or Facebook, whatever we see. And then it's like it's so funny because we have very different schedules. Like he'll get up at dawn
Mhm.
and walk his dog, and then
Yeah.
he sits in the garden and looks at his Instagram or whatever. And so I'll wake up to like 5 or 6 silly things. And then in the evening for me, I'll go through and look and be like, oh, he needs this, he needs this, you know. And so then, you know, so we've always,
He gets
whenever we open up our phones, it's just, oh, we got all these fun love from each other
Yeah,
with
that's a
with
good
the like
surprise.
silly comments of, you know, I could see myself doing this, you know.
Well, someone sent me some bathroom humor. Was that Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It was either, yeah, it
or
might have
some
been
kind of reel.
Facebook. Yeah, yeah.
So good. Thank
So
you.
good. You're welcome. Yeah, that was a hilarious reel where it was a lady singing a song
So good.
of and her
Yeah.
lyrics were comments written on stalls in bathrooms, which I honestly laugh at because I feel like you don't see that very often anymore. You know,
Not
I mean,
anymore.
I don't particularly go to bars anymore, but I
Yeah.
mean, back in the day when we were in school, it was
Oh
in your
yeah.
bathrooms at school. It was in pretty much any public restroom, you know, in the
Yeah.
80s.
Right.
There was writing on the stalls. That's what you did, apparently. You were
Right.
bored and you'd write ridiculous things and
Yeah.
talk to the strangers. So this reel, she's singing based
Like,
on
hey,
the
I need some
lyrics.
toilet paper. Can you pass it? That's the whole Seinfeld thing.
It was so funny, just so
It's
funny.
hilarious. It's hilarious. So yeah, those. So we have that in common. We
Mm-hmm.
will just look up funny shit
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, and it helps.
It does. It does.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I do. What about Miss Stephanie? What do you do besides the reels and the YouTubes? And the
Silliness. Yeah, having a laugh. I also do rely on the polka dot
Mhm.
sisterhood. Sometimes it is calling that specific person that I can talk to
Mhm.
about whatever's going on, but sometimes when it's like you really can't get out of your own friggin' way, you know, a lot of times I find for myself, I'm doing the things I have to do. Like I'm showing up to
Mhm.
work, obviously, I'm
Mhm.
running meetings, I'm doing what's
Yeah.
required of me. But when it comes to
Yeah.
my own personal business of
Yeah.
the coaching end of it, um, that is what falls short. You know, that's where
Mhm.
I'll let
Mhm.
it go. That's usually the
Mhm.
first thing that gets dropped, you know, because I just don't have the bandwidth. I have to raise my
Yeah.
child. I have to have dinner on the table and get the groceries and do the things and bleh.
Right.
And those are required, you know. You can't really not do them because if you do, we're gonna have further fallout, right?
Mhm.
For one
Mhm.
way or another.
Right.
So it's not like I have ever gotten to a state where I just can't get off the couch or something, but
Mm.
you definitely have gotten into some states where it's just like
Yeah.
you're not in a right mindset, but what goes is my
Right.
business. So
Mm.
hopping on, say, like a diamond mastermind call
Oh my
or
gosh.
the
Yeah.
goal setting with Diamond at the beginning of the month, that is like just getting that inspiration, that how can we dig into it, how can we do this better,
Right.
what's going on. And a lot of times, especially like the bigger large group mastermind, I won't talk, I'm just listening to other people's issues, but I often find that it relates to what
Mhm.
I need to be doing. So then it like
Exactly.
lights that fire under me and helps me move forward. Um, but also just hopping on
Mhm.
a regular call or a chapter meeting,
Yeah.
because honestly, sometimes I don't even look at who the speaker is. I'm just going to be with my dot sisters and hear what they're
Connect.
talking about and what's
Yes.
going on. And then
Yeah.
it gets the juices flowing.
100%.
But the other big thing I like to do is some sort of getting myself back into doing art of some sort, whether it's
Oh, really?
me doing some sort of art, like just getting
Mhm.
the paints out and painting or drawing
Mhm.
or sketching. Um, so taking some time to actually have some fun, or if it's like um the biggest one for me oftentimes is I'll have to connect with my best friend and say,
Right.
okay, it's
Yeah.
been way too long. Let's plan a day and we'll do something. And
Yeah.
oftentimes it is either the ocean or an art museum type situation, or something
Yeah.
crafty or, so between just being together, connecting, sharing, talking, but then going, say, to an art museum and seeing art
Mhm.
that inspires us really helps me get motivated to
Yeah.
get out of the muck and move forward.
Yeah. Just a change and like getting together
Mhm.
with your friend. Are there ever any shenanigans?
Of course, there's
Shenanigans are good,
shenanigans.
right?
Yes,
And
yes.
just
My
having fun.
my birthday weekend was birthday was a couple weeks ago, and there was like two options for what we were going to do, and one of
Really?
them was this there was a fairy festival in town where, well, not in town but nearby, and it was hilarious because I had kind of been like, I don't at first I had said to her, will you go to this with me? And that
Yeah.
was like months ago when I
A
saw
fairy
the
festival.
yes, and it was months
Yes.
ago when I saw the flyer,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it was going to be walks in the woods with little fairy gardens and people
Right.
dressed up like fairies, and I don't know. It sounded a little ridiculous, but and I was like, this could either be really cool or really terrible. I'm not sure which.
Nowhere in the middle.
It
One or
could
the
be
other.
fun. And we figured Gabriel would be game for it, so we were like, all
Yeah.
right, we'll maybe we'll do this.
Yeah.
And then as it was approaching, I think I was getting nervous that it was going to be terrible. And
Mhm.
but I also was really, really craving going to the beach. So,
Yeah.
so it was funny because that day I had to go to the spa in the morning and then she was meeting me. So I was working in the morning and she's
Yeah.
texting me and she's like, so we're going to the fairy festival. I'm going to bring some fairy wings and I've got
Yes.
this like she's the ridiculous one and she drags me along and sometimes puts things on my body and
We
I'm
all need
like,
that friend though,
really?
right? We need
I'm
that
wearing
crazy,
this hat.
ridiculous. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So
Yes,
she brought you wings.
she brought wings and crowns and
Yes.
whatnot. But the funniest
Absolutely.
part was then and I kind of on the phone was like, all right, I guess we're doing fairy festival. Like I didn't say this to her, I just was thinking it. I was like, I'd rather go to Rhode Island, but I guess we're doing fairy festival. She seems really excited about this. And then she comes to my house, walks in the door and goes, I'd really like to go to Rhode Island. And I said,
So wait. So you didn't go to the fairy festival?
we did not go to the fairy festival, but that just explains to you how like she is that person that like she has these
Yeah.
random things just
Right.
in her house to be like, oh yeah, I got some wings. I
I
got a
just have some
crazy
wings.
crown.
You
I
know.
got like Christmas. Christmas is our big time to go do, like we always take my little man to see Santa, and she has like a whole bag of different Christmas themed hats and
Really?
silliness. So, needless to
What?
say, she's always like, you're going to wear the elf hat or you're going to do this. And I'm just like, can't I
Do
be a
you find
normal
that
mom?
she pushes you out of your comfort zone and in your, yeah,
To
yeah,
be extra silly. And of course, little man loves it. So he's like, yeah. And the funniest is this past year, it was all of us. It was like, well, Joe was working or something, but um her significant other
Yeah.
and Gabe and I went to see Santa. So she got her significant other to wear a silly hat. I think the dog was wearing a silly hat.
Nice.
And like it was so fun. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
That is
And
it.
even at that, when we went to Rhode Island for my birthday, we ended up seeing these gigantic trolls that are made by an artist in Maine.
Okay.
And I think he's in Maine. I'm not 100% sure. But they're these gigantic wooden trolls. Like we look like dwarf little humans next
Oh
to the
my God.
gigantic troll
Wow.
statues that are in a
Okay.
park in Rhode Island. And
That's
apparently,
cool.
since then, I've learned that the artist has three other trolls in the botanical gardens in Maine.
Ooh.
And there's some like spread out. Like there's ones down in
Yeah.
Georgia. And apparently, because right after doing it, my mom's like, well, what's with these trolls? Whatever. And I tried to explain it to her. And then a few days later, I open up my Facebook and there's an ad for Minnesota and the trolls are going to Minnesota. So like the artist is installing some trolls in Minnesota. And the cool
Is
thing is he doesn't tell you where they are. It's like a troll hunt. I
I was
mean,
gonna say you have to hunt them.
obviously, yeah, you have to hunt them. And I was like, Minnesota's big. That's gonna be a challenge. There must be some clues or something on his website. I
Right.
haven't done that sort of research. But
Yep.
of course, the funny thing is then, people learn about them. And like Heather said, at this point, you can just Google Rhode Island trolls and it'll pin where they are. But it's really fun and cool. And so we still
That's
got to have
fun.
a little silly fun. And then we went to the ocean. So.
I love that.
And I got, yeah, rejuvenated and could carry on.
And now I want to go to a fairy festival.
Yeah, me too. I still want to go to the fairy festival, even though I was a little,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. And get like
Mhm.
the glitter, like the butterfly thing on your face, the wings, maybe some like fairy ears. Ooh,
Yeah,
I see a tutu,
tutus for
right?
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
We'll figure that out.
Worst case, you can be a fairy for pink and orange party at Celebration.
I'm not going to Celebration.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We won't talk about that. So
No, no.
back to so yeah, I tend to use art to get out of my way, to get myself moving, and I
Mhm.
like motivation from others,
Mhm.
particularly in my circle. Like, you can rely on certain people to
Right.
uh pull you out of it.
100%. And the goofier the friend, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Same. When you're like, when you're in that funk,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just need a hello. Oh, okay, great. I'm back.
Yeah, exactly. I do find sometimes you do need to go inward, right? Take that little bit of
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
focus on the things that need to be focused on, or
Mhm.
do a little self-care and
Right.
recentering, grounding, mindfulness, so that
Yeah.
because also those things tend to fall off as well when we're in a state, right? Like you're not necessarily doing your journaling and pardon me,
Yeah.
reading or
Mhm.
taking that time for yourself,
Yeah. You're
right?
just so like
Yoga class or
closed
exercise
up.
class or whatever, like all those things sometimes, especially if we don't have great boundaries, are the things that fall off as well. So it's like getting yourself back to caring about yourself,
Yeah.
because if
Yeah.
you don't care for yourself, how do you take care of others?
And no one else is going to care.
No.
Sorry. If you don't care about yourself, no one else is going to care.
Hmm.
Question about journaling. Do you
I'm
do
terrible at it, so
Okay, so that was my question. I used to think I was terrible at it because I wasn't consistent. Here's
mhm.
what I found that helps me. I journal when I'm in my head,
Mhm.
when I'm going through stuff, because I feel like it's helpful to just get it out.
Mhm.
And so this is my journal.
Oh, I love it. So pretty.
And I've bought this like 3 or 4 times. Like when I fill one up, I just go on Amazon and order another one.
Mm-hmm.
So like how do you journal? Because there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever works.
I honestly haven't journaled in a very long time, but I know that it's what a lot of people do. Um,
When do you do it? Like,
arg,
you sound like a pirate.
arg. I was in a habit of trying to get up, do a quick meditation, and
Okay.
journal. That is
Yeah.
very hard with a small child.
Yeah. Hard
Um,
without a small
and,
child.
and especially when you don't like to wake up before a certain hour. So,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, if I wake up at 6 o'clock, I can do this. So yeah,
Mhm.
now I have a tendency to wake up somewhere between 6:30. I will
Yeah.
lay in bed and kind of do my own little meditation in my bed while I'm laying there.
Yeah.
And then maybe I will journal. But also realized that for me, journaling was much better at nighttime.
Oh, okay. So that works for you.
So nighttime is my like quiet time. Like once the boys go to bed, I
Once the
can
boys are in bed.
once the boys are in bed, my
It's your
child and
time.
my husband, I can drink a cup of tea, I can meditate, I can journal, I can cuddle my dog, and then all is well with the world. Although I will say, again, a lot of things have shifted lately. So journaling has completely fallen off the books for me because I did realize I am terrible at it. Like I would get into the habit and I'd start doing it and I'd be really good about it for maybe 3 months.
Oh, wow. That's a good stretch.
And then it would disappear. And
Yeah.
then I'd do it again. And then it would disappear. Um, what I did like doing when I journaled was to write down gratitude. So what I do is I just
Oh,
say it in my head or out
yeah.
loud.
Right.
Because if you're just practicing the gratitude, no matter how you practice it, I know there's power in writing things down, but there's also power in saying it. So just
It
say it.
really is.
If you can't, like, so that was where I let go of feeling I had to journal.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because I can do it in a different way that suits me. So that's what I
Exactly.
did. I am a writer, a thinker. You
Mhm.
should see the number of notebooks in my desk area. So I get the concept of like getting the idea out when it's there. So I like
Absolutely.
that. I definitely do that. I just don't call it journaling. I don't keep it in a specific notebook. Um,
Mine, I
because a
call it a
lot of
brain
times
dump.
it's like once it's done.
Done.
Let
Yeah.
it go. Kind of
I
funny that we
love
got the
that
Let It
you,
Be shirt on.
I mean, the let it be. Come on.
Just let it be.
What was I gonna, I love that you decided not to be so hard on yourself and going, I suck at journaling, and instead switching it into, you know what? I am gonna just do this differently. This works for me, saying out
Mm-hmm.
loud, or
Mm-hmm.
using my art. I
Mm-hmm.
love that because don't you find that we are harder on ourselves? Like the way we talk to ourselves sometimes, the things
Mm-hmm.
catch myself saying internally to myself, I would never say that to another person. It's like, oh, hold up.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, no.
Mm-hmm.
You too.
Yeah. I'm not
Sometimes.
in I don't think I'm incredibly hard on myself, but I have people who yell at me sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I have the same thing. And it's like, you sometimes I don't see it. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I need to back off on myself. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Noted.
I mean, that's why usually we get into the muck is because we're like putting
We're so in
expectations
it.
on ourselves. Well, we're putting expectations on ourselves. Like if I don't do this, that, and the other thing, nothing will occur,
And
and
it's like, yeah, is that really true?
yeah, exactly. Will the world collapse if I don't sweep the floor today?
No,
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 it will
don't
not.
sweep that floor.
I actually went through a stage of revolt where I did not sweep the floor.
Nice.
to see how long it took for somebody to sweep the floor.
And
I
how long?
eventually I eventually broke down and swept the floor.
Oh man.
Oh, it had been like 3 weeks, and we have two animals that drop fur everywhere.
You cracked.
I
Okay,
cracked.
so I think you watched them too, the Holderness family.
Yeah.
So she got sick of replacing the toilet paper roll.
I
Did you see that?
Go ahead, tell it
She was like,
anyways.
yeah, I'm not gonna replace it. I'm gonna wait to see how long it takes my family, my husband, my daughter, my son. They're all capable
Hmm.
of putting a new roll
Hmm.
of toilet paper. I think it was like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, it's
Two
insane.
weeks.
Hmm.
No.
That's one thing. I mean, in all honesty, so I think at that time when I was on Revolt, Joe must have been very busy because, like, with work,
Yeah.
because when he's not busy, he doesn't stop. Like, he will go and
Yeah.
do all, like, right now, he's like vacuuming out, like, he was scrubbing and vacuuming out the grill so that it's nice and clean again. Who does that?
Your husband.
My husband. So, okay. He makes it useful and workable for
It
as
brings
long
him
as
joy.
as I'm not sure it brings him joy, but it makes the grill continue to work right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. So any other ideas of how we help ourselves get out of our own way, or do you have a funny story? Or
You want more funny stories?
of course we want a funny story.
I think I'm tapped out with those today.
Oh, all right.
Maybe not. I don't know. The only other thing I do,
Mm-hmm.
I if I'm stuck
Mm-hmm.
and I think I know, but I don't know, I will bring out my pendulum,
Mm-hmm.
ask a question. Great. Okay. Yes or no. And it's like, then I tap back into myself. It's like, I knew that, but thank you for the second layer of, oh yeah, this is the right thing. You were
Mm-hmm.
thinking the right thing. You're on the right path. And
Mm-hmm.
that gets me to take
Trusting
that
your
next step.
intuition. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's me.
Mm-hmm. I'd
What
say
about
for
you?
me, it's oils, using my essential oils, the calming, soothing ones to kind of ground and center.
Mhm.
But then there are certain ones that really help motivate. So
Peppermint.
the citruses, the peppermints,
Yeah.
yeah. And so you start diffusing things like that, maybe with some herbs going on, like one of my favorite
Mhm.
blends to do when I need to be working is and have the mind going
And the
is
focus, right?
yeah, lemon, rosemary, and peppermint.
Oh,
So good.
that sounds
And
gorgeous.
it smells great. It's also a great one for the kitchen because so I have diffusers in every room of the house. So
Yeah.
so different blends for different rooms. That is a go-to in the kitchen
Mhm.
because it's clean and it smells fresh. I make hand soap with it for the kitchen.
Do you seriously?
Yeah, yeah. So
Ooh.
yeah, so that's a go-to one.
Yeah.
And then like there's a blend from doTERRA called Citrus Bliss that is citrus with a little bit of vanilla and some pepperminty or some sort of mint.
Oh my
And it
God.
is so divine. It smells so yummy.
It sounds,
And hmm
I
yeah,
mean, citrus bliss. Come on.
exactly. That
It's
says
like
it
in
all.
the
I
name.
mean, that's what I love about doTERRA and their names of their things. It literally tells you what it does. Like balance. What does it do? It helps you balance. Uh Citrus bliss, you're gonna be blissing on citrus.
You
Like,
don't
come
have to
on.
second guess. You just like,
No.
okay, I need some bliss.
Digest
That's
then.
the
Oh,
thing.
it's gonna help me digest. You know.
Is that one called Help Me Burp?
No, but it does.
I
Uh,
love
so
it.
yeah. Yeah, so I use my oils a lot. I'll, when it comes to the emotionally using the oils, diffuse them so that I can inhale them. I might inhale them straight from the bottle.
Mhm.
And then I'll put them on my pulse points. So my wrist,
Yep.
back of my neck, heart, and
Yeah.
inhale. And it just kind of helps get the juices flowing, shift your mindset when you're, the motivative ones. Like there is a blend called Motivate that doTERRA makes that's
Of
like
course there is.
orange and peppermint, and I don't know what else is in it. I can't
Yeah.
remember. But it's one that when I used to work in an office, I had this set of roller balls that are all different emotional oils. So there's
Yeah.
Motivate, Cheer,
Yeah.
uh, I forget the others, Peace, but Motivate was like the rollers, I would wear them like perfume.
Right.
Motivate was often my Monday choice because I would like wake up and get ready and I'd like look in the cabinet and be like, what oil do I need today? And
Motivate
it was
Monday.
like Motivate Monday because otherwise I'm not making it.
What? Okay, I'm curious, what is an essential oil blend that doTERRA has that has the funniest, most interesting name? There's gotta be a zinger in there somewhere. I would hope there would be.
I don't think so.
I think there needs to be like the belching thing.
Well, so that's
Belching Betty.
where us essential oil people make
Yeah.
our own custom blends and name them things like that. Belching Betty
Ooh,
or Calm the F Down, that sort of
I got
stuff.
the calm the F down. I got that from one of my coaches in the mail one time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I went, oh,
Eh, is that what
okay.
I need to do? Thank you, coach.
Appreciate that.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, I think we have done the things.
I think we've done the things. We did a good job doing the things. And I
Yeah,
think we should give ourselves a little pat on the back. Good job.
good job.
All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. It's been an
Hmm.
interesting conversation. We started off with, I don't even know what the hell we started off with. My smelly shirt
Smelly shirts and let it be.
and let it be. And we ripped all the way around to essential oils and we
Yeah.
covered a lot of things in between.
Heck yeah. It was a fun conversation and I
I
hope you
love it.
guys enjoyed it. If you have any comments, please leave them. We love that. And
Yes.
we look forward to chatting with you soon.
Yep. See you next time.
See ya.